Hello, Curious! Everyone is eagerly talking about the brand new Marvel Sony movie Morbius, which is starring Jared Leto in the titular role. Despite the movie suffering numerous delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it finally hit theatre screens on April 1st, and given that it is set in the same universe as Sony's Spider-Man, fans were eager to give it a watch, despite early reviews not sounding so promising. But all this talk had once again people turning to Leto and his filmography and talking about his extreme metamorphosis for various roles. Did the actor have to undergo any drastic changes to his body to prepare for his latest role? What is the new production about? Why are some fans of the movie not happy with it? What have been some of Jared's most drastic changes? Could he be done with pushing his body to the extremes? And will it affect his career? Stay with us until the very end to find out all about the latest production and the actor, but before we continue, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our future videos. The 30 Seconds to Mars frontman Jared Leto has taken on another role, and one that fans had been eagerly awaiting. But what exactly is Morbius? The character of Dr. Morbius has first appeared in the Marvel Comics in the Amazing Spider-Man 101 issue in 1971, as at the time, censorship rules had loosened up, which allowed for vampires and other monsters to make a comeback to comics. And so, he steadily appeared in several releases by the company, headlining his own series in 1992, and now his own big screen release. Now, we're going to give you a little bit of info on how Morbius came about, so spoiler warning. We're basing this on the movie version of the character who we first meet when the brilliant Dr. Morbius, at the time, is ill, weak and requires crutches due to a lifelong rare blood disease. In order to find a cure for it, he experiments by mixing his own human DNA with that of a bat, which works. However, he develops a permanent Mr. Hyde type personality, which is a mix of the two species. This gives him super speed, strength, fight and enhanced echolocation. It is also worth noting that the character of Morbius is an anti-hero. While the movie suggests that the action takes place in Sony's Spider-Man universe, given the fact that we had a crossover of Spidey and the Avengers as well as Venom, it could mean that maybe in the future we could also see Morbius face off heroes from the MCU. However, for the time being, no further plans were announced. But speaking of the movies, let's get to know the cast. When it comes to the new movies, the one thing everyone wants to know about is the cast. Who are they, and are they any big names? As we mentioned before, the role of the titular character will be played by none other than Jared Leto. Joining him on the big screen will be Michael Keaton, who is reprising his role of Adrian Toomes, aka The Vulture. The Crown's Matt Smith as Milo. Other cast members include Tyrese Gibson, Adria Arjona and Jared Harris, to name but a few. The movie was released on April 1st, and already, looking at reviews from critics and fans alike, it seems that not everyone is happy. Despite several delays due to COVID-19, the movie has finally seen the light of day and was released, and fans went out to see what this new character is all about. So much that according to Variety, the movie has hit the #1 box office spot and is estimated to bring in between $38 to $41 million for the opening weekend alone. But when it comes to the reactions to the film, they had been less than stellar, with many internet users pointing out lousy CGI, a lackluster story, and terrible pacing. Others had also called it disjoint and incoherent, though it is also worth pointing out that most of the negative comments on the film had to do with production rather than acting. Which brings us to Jared Leto, the actor known for his amazing transformations. Did he have to undergo many changes for this role? Stay with us to find out. Superhero movies nearly always require actors to make changes to their body in some way, be it by losing weight, bulking up on muscles, or doing a lot of research. Appearing in such production is nothing new for Leto, who previously played the Joker in the Suicide Squad movies, though now it seems that he decided to venture over to Marvel Sony. After all, other actors had taken over the character, such as the 2019 Joker movies starring Joaquin Phoenix, and most recently, as shown in a deleted scene from Robert Pattinson's Batman, Barry Keoghan. If you want to know how such a role could have affected Heath Ledger and whether it was blamed for his passing, be sure to check out our previous video by clicking on the link above. But for now, make sure to stay with us until the very end. When it comes to preparing for his role of Morbius, it is unknown just how much weight Jared had to gain or lose, though several outlets such as L'Officiel USA seem to suggest that he did follow a strict workout regime to obtain the bulk of a hero. But what that was, for the time being, is unknown. While he did not speak of any physical changes, in an interview with Variety, Leto opened up about preparing for the character, which he called immersive work. In order to learn more about living with a rare incurable blood disease like the character, the actor met with doctors and patients who had experienced firsthand. And in order to master walking with a cane, rather than going for the old industry trick of putting a pebble in his shoe, he took the time to study with real cane users. One of the things that Jared is most famous for as an actor are his body transformations, and extreme ones at that. These had gained him plenty of industry praise over the years. So let's take a look at some of his acting gigs that had gained the most attention. Let's start in the year 2000 and the movie Requiem for a Dream. In the psychological drama, Leto had played an illegal substance addict, a role for which he had lost 28 pounds by only eating raw vegetables for 2 months. Though, as you can imagine, this had some serious effects which weren't only physical but also psychological. According to reports, the actor's bone marrow dropped 400 points, his liver was damaged, and he had suffered from hallucinations due to fasting. In order to recover while filming Wrapped, he had moved to a monastery in Portugal where he stayed for several months, working on gaining his weight back. When it came for awards, his role was not greatly awarded, with him only receiving a nomination for Best Ensemble at the Online Film Critics Society Awards. In 2007, the actor underwent a polar opposite transformation for the movie Chapter 27. In it, he took the role of Mark David Chapman, who took the life of John Lennon, and for that performance, he had gained nearly 70 pounds. In order to achieve that, as he revealed in an interview, he had to live on a diet consisting of pizza, pasta, and melted Haagen-Dazs ice cream that was mixed with olive oil and soy sauce. This also had negative effects on his body, and as a result, he had suffered from gout. In one interview, he had revealed that towards the end of the shoot, one of the biggest issues was that he was experiencing was pain in his feet. It was so bad that he couldn't walk long distances and had to use a wheelchair because it was so painful. He had also added that his body was in shock due to all the weight gain. For this part, the actor was nominated and won one award for Best Performance at the Zurich Film Festival. Now, the next extreme transformation that this actor had undergone had earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in 2014. The movie was Dallas Buyers Club, and the role was that of Rayon. To play this character, which was a trans woman, he had reached a weight of 114 pounds and shaved and or waxed every hair from his body, which included his eyebrows. While this might not be as dramatic as the previous mentioned ones, it was the role that saw him receive a number of awards, nominations, and wins. Now, these extreme changes had in a way stuck with Leto, and it is what people had come to expect from him. But could it be that this is the end of such drastic transformations for the actor? Well, his interview with USA Today seems to suggest so, as he revealed he is never going to attempt such traumatic weight gain again. Speaking with reporters, he said, "It's just really not something you should do to your body, ever. Just binging, eating really bad food. I have people call me up and ask me for advice on how to do it. I spend the whole time talking them out of it." And seeing just what effect this had on the actor in the past, it is no surprise that he had to make such a choice. As the movie House of Gucci had shown, prosthetics are the new go-to for transformations for Leto now. For this production, in which he played Paolo Gucci, his makeup team was in charge of his physical overhaul, which took about 6 hours to complete. And given that audiences couldn't believe it was Jared in the role, with some initially thinking he went through another weight gain, it seems that it had paid off. And another reason this was successful was because not even his co-star Al Pacino, who played his on-screen father Aldo Gucci, could recognize him in conversation. As Leto said in an interview, when chatting to the veteran actor prior to filming, the 81-year-old actor had thought he was just some Italian guy. Of course, the 30 Seconds to Mars frontman took this as the highest compliment, because if he can stand face to face with Al Pacino and he can't believe his accent and behaviour, that's all he needs. Speaking of Gucci, if you want to learn the real-life story of the family played out, be sure to check out our previous video by clicking on the link above. despite the fact the movie might not have been as successful during the awards seasons. Though Leto did win a Razzie Award for the Worst Supporting Actor, many had unanimously agreed that his transformation into Gucci was one of the most impressive ones, and had proven that prosthetics are just as successful as physically gaining or losing weight, which will help the actor preserve his health and maintain the position of being the star with dramatic transformations for his roles. But what do you think, Curious? Do you think that even with prosthetics, Jared Leto can achieve such shocking transformations? If not, do you think it could impact his acting career? Which of his transformations amazed you the most? Have you already seen Morbius? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.